A Ukrainian soldier hides from a helicopter airstrike amid Russia's invasion of Ukraine, near Demidov, Ukraine, March 10, 2022. Reuters. Maxim Levin. A woman reacts in front of a residential building which was damaged in the separatist-controlled town of Volnovakha in the Donetsk region, Ukraine, March 11. Reuters. Alexander Ermoshenko. A teardrop rolls down a young woman's cheek aboard a bus after fleeing from Ukraine to Romania, at the border crossing in Siret, Romania, March 16. Reuters. Clodagh Kilcoyne. Tracers are seen in the night sky as Ukrainian servicemen fire on a drone in Kyiv, Ukraine, March 14. Reuters. Gleb Garanich. People and medics help a wounded resident of a house destroyed by shelling in Kyiv, Ukraine, March 14. Reuters. Gleb Garanich. Sunset is reflected in the Salton Sea as seen from Bombay Beach, California, March 15. Reuters. David Swanson. A woman with face paint attends a celebration during a meeting where leaders from indigenous communities in the Amazon basin demanded South American governments halt extractive industries that damage the rainforest, in Puerto, Ecuador, March 15. Reuters. Johanna Alarcon. A girl sleeps on the lap of her brother as they wait for their transfer, after fleeing the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine, outside the main train station in Lviv, Ukraine, March 14. Reuters. Kai Pfaffenbach. A woman walks with a bicycle next to a damaged building in the separatist-controlled town of Volnovakha in the Donetsk region, Ukraine, March 15. Reuters. Alexander Ermoshenko. A man covered in colored powder shakes his head during Holi celebrations in Ahmedabad, India, March 17. Reuters. Amit Dev. Lady Gaga attends the 27th Annual Critics' Choice Awards at the Savoy Hotel in London, Britain, March 13. Reuters. Henry Nichols. A man shouts against President Gotabaya Rajapaksa as people block the main road in front of the president's secretariat during a protest against the worsening economic crisis that has brought fuel shortages and spiraling food prices in Colombo, Sri Lanka, March 15. Reuters. Dinukali Inawat. A man mourns next to the body of his mother, who was killed when an intercepted missile hit a residential building in Kyiv, Ukraine, March 17. Reuters. Thomas Peter. Buddhist monks walk over smoldering coals with barefoot at the fire-walking festival, called Hiwatari Matsuri in Japanese, at Mt. Takao in Tokyo, Japan, March 13. About 1,500 Japanese worshippers walk barefoot with Buddhist monks over coals at the annual festival, praying for the safety of themselves to overcome the coronavirus pandemic and for peace in the world, according to organizers. Reuters. Kim Kyung-hoon. Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, pets the Irish Guards mascot Turlough Moore, during the St. Patrick's Day parade in Aldershot, Britain, March 17. Reuters. Hannah McKay. Sand begins to surround houses close to the town of Ambovom, Androy region, Madagascar, February 15, 2022. Madagascar has always known extreme weather events, but scientists say these will likely increase as human-induced climate change pushes temperatures higher. 4 years of drought, along with deforestation caused by people burning or cutting down trees to make charcoal or to open up land for farming, have transformed the area into a dust bowl. Reuters. Alkis Konstantinidis. An injured serviceman looks out of an ambulance following an attack on the Yevrev military base, outside a hospital in Yevrev, Ukraine, March 13. Reuters. Kai Pfaffenbach. Ever Forward container ship, owned by Evergreen Marine Corp., sits grounded in the Chesapeake Bay off the shore of Maryland, March 15. Reuters. Julio Cesar Chavez. Fireworks are seen over the National Stadium during the closing ceremony of the Beijing 2022 Winter Paralympic Games, March 13. Reuters. Daily Song. A woman reacts following the death of 4 fallen Ukrainian servicemen, Oleg Vashchyshin, Kirill Vyshevny, Rostislav Romanchuk and Serhiy Melnik, who were killed in a rocket attack against a military base in Yevriv, during the memorial and funeral service in Lviv, Ukraine, March 15. Reuters. Kai Pfaffenbach. Ukrainian soldiers walk past a monument of the city founder Duc de Richelieu, covered with sandbags for protection, in Odessa, Ukraine, March 10. Reuters. Alexandros Avramidis. A child has her swab sample taken at a mobile nucleic acid testing site near a Catholic church, amid a coronavirus outbreak in Beijing, China, March 16. Reuters. Ding Shuang. A protester tries to push away a ladder being used by police officers as they attempt to enter a building next to the mansion reportedly belonging to Russian billionaire Oleg Deripaska, who was placed on Britain's sanctions list last week, as squatters occupy it, in London, Britain, March 14. Reuters. Peter Nichols. A person wearing a protective mask crosses a bridge as Storm Celia blew sand from the Sahara Desert over Madrid, Spain, March 15. Reuters. Susanna Vera. The sun sets behind Wat Saka Temple, or Golden Mount in Bangkok, Thailand, March 15. Reuters. At Hit Parawang Meva. Civilians who volunteered to join the Territorial Defense Forces train on weapons in Odessa, Ukraine, March 11. Reuters. Alexandros Avramidis. People carry white flags as they cross the border between Bucha and Irpin next to a body lying on the street, amid Russia's invasion of Ukraine, in Irpin, Ukraine, March 11. Reuters. Serhiy Nuznenko. Hindu devotees take part in the religious festival of Holi inside a temple in Nangaon village, in the state of Uttar Pradesh, India, March 12. Reuters. Adnan Abidi. Firefighters worked to put out a fire in a residential apartment building after it was hit by shelling in Kyiv, Ukraine, March 15. Reuters. Marko Urika. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky delivers a video address to senators and members of the House of Representatives gathered in the Capitol Visitor Center Congressional Auditorium, at the U.S. Capitol in Washington, March 16. J. Scott Applewhite-Poole.